I mean, I do have an even more ambitious and imaginative version.
Go on then.
Don't
Don't hold back. Don't hold back.
You not? How could you not? Well, I still want to insist that if I have my way, the PIElink should remain entirely free to service users and to staff, and whether frontline staff or middle managers. I think it's really important that everybody has access to this. But if you look at the market for journals, not just trade journals, but academic journals, every university in the country has training courses for psychologists, social workers, nurses, sometimes housing management, doctors who may want to know a bit about complex needs and public health and so on and so on and so on. And how many universities are there just in England, let alone in Scotland, Wales, Ireland, let alone the rest of the English-speaking world? And the way they train people is by employing a number of staff as lecturers, arranging to send people out on placements, which is usually someone's job already, so that's quite expensive to do. And then they get academic journals. Now, academic journals on the whole, even the less prestigious ones, tend to cost something like £1,000 a year for 4 issues of maybe 5 or 6 papers. Certainly that's how Emeralds, that's the size of Emeralds. So £1,000 a year, every university in England, let alone abroad. If you said the PIElink is free and involvement in the webinars and so on is entirely free to all service users and staff in services, but universities to give access to these to their students, to make it a teaching tool to teach the next generation of social workers, psychologists, occupational therapists, and so on. For that, you need to be registered, and you need, in other words, there'll be a firewall, a paywall around vocational training courses. But how cheap that would be compared with, and how up to date, how cutting edge would that be? To actually be able to listen in, to sit in on webinars where people are actually doing the job, talking with service users out there, to actually have an opportunity to listen in and to learn from that. It streaks ahead of anything that universities currently are able to provide. So I think there could potentially be quite a serious market for this as a whole new form of academic publishing and vocational training. But that's further down the line. To start with, what you need is for the PIElink or its successor to be lively and active and interactive and engaging and innovative and sponsoring creativity by being creative itself. So so big plans. And here I am in my mid-70s and trying to retire. So I am not the person to carry those big plans out. I'm the person to say, But if you went to a funding company, philanthropic funding or whatever, and said, there is enormous potential, there's a huge market out there to be tapped, but what we need is 2 years or 5 years of funding to get us started, whether it's a loan or whether it's a grant. But you've got a business plan that says this could be not just self-sustaining, but this could be, disruptive technology. This could sweep the board. This could be the way everything is done in 10 years' time.
I'll be back in.
I think the Dragon's Den would probably, they'd probably go for it.